it's Dr. Z, and I am back. I am refocused and refreshed, coming off a wonderful summer vacation. Now, I told y'all in May I was going to take a little summer vacation, take a little 2 months off, but it's August, and I am back, and I'm super duper excited to be back with you all, having our candid talks. Y'all like my tan? She's summer ready, y'all. Anyways, I'm here with y'all. Y'all know what this is. This is Stephen. Stephen B. He is joining me in the office for our first Candid Talks because we have some amazing individuals throughout the United States that we will be bringing to you guys for the next 3 months. Because remember, y'all, let me break it down how Candid Talks rolls before we have our conversation with Stephen. Right? So August, September, and October, we will have guests come and sharing candid conversations with you. Then in November and December, me and Stephen will be talking about holiday plans, right? And we're going to take a little Christmas break. Then we'll be back in January again, just like we took our summer break. All right? So now you know how Candid Talks is going to work. And for those of you who emailed me, text me over the break, yes, love, missed y'all too. Glad I'm back. But what is this dude doing here on Candid Talks with Dr. Z? This ain't Candid Talks with Dr. Z and B. Did you like that? Candid Talks with Dr. Z and B. Anyways.
Everybody want to be a rapper.
Ooh, maybe I'm a rapper. You think I'm a rapper?
No.
But y'all want to hear me rap, right? Hey, y'all, it's Candid Talks with Z and B. Maybe not. Okay.
Okay. It sounded pretty good. I'm going to go with it.
It was good. Anyways, guys, I wanted Stephen to come and join me today. We've been talking about this for a good while. We've been talking about it since we wrote the book, Unloading Divorce Baggage, because I told Stephen that he has so many stories, y'all. This is a country boy. He has so many stories, he should write his own book. He really is. So I'm just going to talk to Stephen about some of his life experiences, right? And so from a farm boy in Tifton, Georgia. Y'all know what Tifton is? Go ahead and Google it.
Via Tifton, Georgia. I was born
via
in Scooterville, Georgia.
Go ahead and say it real country for them.
Say what? Real country. Scooterville.
Scooterville. So you are okay. So this is the interview. So Stephen, talk to us about where you're from, for real.
Okay, I'm from the dirty south of Southwest Georgia, born and raised in Scooterville, Georgia. Went to Worth County High School in Sylvester, Georgia. I spent a little time in Tifton, 2.5 years of my school, from the 7th to the 9th grade. Then I went back to Worth County High and graduated in '89. I worked on the farm a lot. I had a dynamic family, you know, everybody got dysfunctions, but we all did our country thing, went fishing in the afternoons, and you ate that afternoon, you know, wildlife in the refrigerator, the deep freezer, those sorts of things. But I was raised and kept in bounds on respect, manners, courtesy, and family was big, and I came from a big family. Although my immediate is just myself and my sister, my little brother, we came from a family where my mom had many brothers and sisters, and they had many kids. So I grew up with my cousins, and that's how life is in the good old South.
In the good old South. So he is a farm boy or a farm man, right? And so one of the things that I like you say about growing up with your cousins, because I grew up with my cousins as well, but you and your cousins are almost like siblings.
Yeah.
You guys have a really, really close relationship.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I come from two sides, which is you could say the Putman side and the Golson side. It can figure with a whole lot of us. But when I wasn't in Sumner with my cousin Mike, Shay, and Bobby,
Sumner is in Georgia too,
Sumner,
right?
Georgia, the McClusters. I was in Tifton with my cousin T-Baby, Shell and Pokey, you know, and then all the older ones, but they were around my age. So you know, we all spend the night head to toe on a pallet, or 7 of us in the bed, head to toe, and all that kind of stuff. And it was always good times.
Yeah. Now, I know somebody out there can relate to that. I know a lot of people, although he's talking about growing up in the South, I know a lot of you can relate to that because although I didn't grow up in the South, I grew up in the Caribbean. My cousins and I were really close, and we had the same thing: sleeping on a pallet, head to toe. Y'all remember what a pallet is, right? We're not that far removed and bougie that we don't remember how we grew up. And it's so important, I think, to continue to tell those stories, Stephen, and really go back to our roots, because that's what family really was about, or is about.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, every time I go home to Georgia, you know, my sister and everybody, my mom, my dad, they all live in Tipton. But I go to Scooterville, to the homes that we were raised in. Some are gone. Some are really, broken down a lot. But I'll go and take in the essence of where I came from, where I used to go to the fish ponds, and every 4th of July, you know, there would be a goat on a tree, cut it down, clean it out, and put it on the grill, baby. That's how we used to do it back then, you know. So I always go back and take in the essence of where I came from, and it's very emotional for me. Yeah. Then I slide on and do my thing, you know. So.
Yeah. So for those of you who relate, and I think a lot of us do, going home and going back to family. Yeah. But at 17 years old, you joined the military.
Yeah.
And went away. I want you to talk to me, because I know this story. I want you to tell the viewers out there what it was like for you, that 17-year-old, getting on the bus and saying goodbye to your mom and your sister, and leaving your small town and your family for the first time all those years ago.
Yeah, it was something else, because my mom, they were in Jersey at that time. She was married to my stepdad, Jasper Broner. Loved him.
Now, hold on. I don't know if you could be saying people's name like that. You know, hey, Jasper.
Yeah, he's in heaven right now.
Amen.
So he's good to go. I don't think he's going to sue us or anything.
Yes.
But anyway.
Don't say people's names.
Okay, my bad. They didn't believe I was going in. I took the test while they were gone. Fast forward, they came back, and I had to go to the MEPS to do all the stuff. And I left on August 2nd. They took me to Albany, Georgia, to the bus station, and didn't really hit anybody until I got on the bus, and I'm sitting on the bus, and they're walking back to the car. And as they drove away and the bus pulled away, I cried from Albany, Georgia, all the way to Atlanta. That was the first time I had that kind of separation, anxiety, so to speak, you know. So that's how that happened. It was, and then I get the basic training the day of my 18th birthday, which was August 7th, 89 at that time.
Wow. You're telling people a lot. And
that's
so,
okay.
so you get to, so that is, first of all, that's very emotional, right? It's the first time you're leaving home, per se. I mean, you'd been to DC a lot to visit your grandparents, because your grandparents live in DC. But really the first time at 17 years old, going away from home. And I like how you kind of said the bus is going one way and they were going another way. So you get to MEPS. I mean, not MEPS. You get to your first duty station or the basic training, and they open the door and you meet your drill sergeant for the first time. What is going through your head?
Man, just fear. I mean, so scary. And at that time, again, that was my 18th birthday, my very first day of basic training. And couldn't tell anybody, you know. There was no celebration. It was just pain and sweat and breaking you in from your, you know, civilian ways on day one, you know, day zero, really. So.
Yeah. Now, fast forward years later, you are now a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
And you are receiving those brand new recruits and those individuals come in to be trained to be part of the U.S. Army. How would you say that your experiences really transferred to being the leader of young adults?
Oh, my. It doesn't matter where you come from. Everybody can have a platform of respect and discipline, so to speak. I had a rump load of that coming from where I came from. You know, if you got in trouble up to your friend's house before you can get home, and we didn't even have a phone at that time, you're going to get in trouble when you get home. So immersing yourself in different cultures, you have to also think about where a lot of these kids come from, where you came from. Some of the things that make this one move may not make that one move, although they have to do the same thing. it was very good for me because I had enough time in. I had experienced enough in, I think, my first 9 years to be able to deal with them. Also, a lot of the things you do at home with maybe your kids, a lot of that transfers to how you deal with young men and women that are
because they're kids.
18, 19 years old, most of them, majority of them. So, So, yeah.
Wow. Would you say, did you enjoy it?
I did. I mean, I was very, very, it's long hours at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But to see the finished product when you get to grad week is an amazing thing. It's an emotional thing too, because in about 2 days or so, you're gonna get rid of them and get a new group and start all over again. So you can't hang on that too long, but it's a blessing to hear when a parent says, "How did you do it?" Well, I had total control for 9 weeks, you know, and all they can do is say yes and yes.
Yeah. They don't really have a choice back then.
Yes,
That's the old army.
To a certain degree, yeah. I mean,
It's the old army. But so you spent 29 years and 9 months and a couple of weeks and days in the army.
I spent 28 years, 9 months, 29 days in the United States.
Do you remember down to the hours or minutes?
I'm gonna have to counsel myself for not knowing that part. But yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen so many people come and go under your tutelage, under your leadership. Have you had anybody reach out to you and say, "Man, thank you," or "Man, I hated you," or "Man, I still hate you"? Have you had any of those stories? What would you say have been some of your challenges and wins in serving in the U.S. military?
Ooh, challenges. That's a hard one because there are numerous. You know, what do I boil it down to, or what eggshell do I put it into? Is maybe adapting, and not just because I'm saying adapting because in most cases I rank, you know, the people that I'm training or guiding or leading, but it doesn't mean that I may not be able to learn something from them.
Right.
I had a young soldier tell me once, "How can someone so hard be so close to God?" But I knew what it was that they had to meet or be ready for once they left basic training. And during my time on the trail, that's when OIF kicked off, Iraq kicked off. You know, Afghanistan was already going on, then Iraq kicked off. So these kids were leaving basic and AIT, going straight into combat zones.
Yeah.
So
you had to prepare them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, mentally, you gotta grind them down that first 3 weeks in red phase, and then you let them flow for the weapons phase, and then for the indoctrination ranges, they take the lead. We just stand behind and guide them.
Yeah.
So,
and this is a sensitive part because I know you've lost soldiers, right? You've lost people who've been under your leadership and under your care. Like, what would you say to somebody who is still battling survivor's guilt? Like, what would you say?
It's hard to give you any one thing, but the best thing is that you're still here to battle it. And each day, for however you do it, whatever your steps to mitigate is another day to be better, stronger, to let a lot of it release from you. You're never going to forget it.
Yeah.
But there is somebody depending on you. There's somebody that is thinking about you, somebody that's looking up to you. The things that you've gone through, you've made it through, that they can't even fathom.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways to get at these things that chase us sometimes in our life.
Yeah. Well, I think from all of us watching, and definitely from me here, thank you so much for your service and your sacrifice to this nation. And so I've always wanted to do that.
Just
I'll
give you block instructions.
I'm not going to do that. But again, thank you so much for your service from Scooterville, Georgia, and Tifton, Georgia. And Sylvester, Georgia. We're over here talking to Stephen Byrd, y'all. He talked about a little bit of his time a lot of his adult time in the military, as well as being on the trail as a drill sergeant. He also shared really how to navigate survivor's guilt. And again, we're talking about combat veterans. And so for those of you out here just watching us, we're just talking to Stephen. I don't know why he's on my show.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But he's just here. We're just kind of talking and having a candid conversation about his life and his time in the military. So you're retired
Yes.
You're retired. Thank you so much for your wonderful service again.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're in retirement land. You're hanging out with me.
Yeah.
You're hanging out with me.
Something like that.
So what is it like having served in such a disciplined field and now being in retirement and being around civilians most of the time? What is that difference to you? Because I have seen a lot of people who've retired and they've gone right back into the workforce.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were like, it's like they haven't really stopped. But you retired and decided to go to college. So talk to me a little bit about that transition. Not any of the jobs you had between, but now that you are fully retired and you're dealing with these civilians, but you're in school. So talk to me about being around 19 and 18-year-old students again as a civilian.
Well, for a long time, my oldest daughter will attest to this. The thing I used to love the most about being in the military is when I went to Walmart, the grocery store, whatever, and I saw kids with long hair or, just a little bit free in what how they were dressing, because it reminded me of the freedoms that we have and the things that we were able to do. Me transitioning, it's funny how I rode hard to the day I left. And a lot of people would tell you, someone that's been in the Army as long as me, they're like, once you get out, and they're not being mean, they're like, you're going to die.
Oh my God.
They figure a person like you that was military. Once you leave, it's over for you. You're going to fade on into glory.
Because you were like G.I. Joe super soldier. He was G.I. Joe super
I was committed to the job. I was committed to the standard.
He was G.I. Joe
committed to the
super soldier.
Yeah, whatever.
So G.I. Joe retired.
Yeah.
And so you retired. So talk to me about, so now that you're retired, you decided to go back to school. What sparked that? What sparked going to a college full-time on campus in the classroom, like you're taking 4 and 5 classes?
Yeah.
What sparked that?
Well, I had numerous credit hours over the years in the military, and unfortunate for me, and it was done, that I didn't get a degree or finish a degree. So when I met you, you were in the middle of your PhD, and then I started taking Landon to school every day for almost 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and I'm sandwiched in between these two academic overachievers, so to speak. And then I realized that, as you being a professor out there, I was able to go to school. They would pay my tuition. All I had to do was pay the usage fees. And then once I got started, though, I went through the VA, and they covered everything. So
let's back that up. So for those of you veterans out there who want to go to school, even if you don't have a spouse that works at a university, there's something called a VA that you can utilize, right? So there are a lot of services that the VA does offer. Still offers. We'll see what happens next year. But go on.
Yeah, and even at that, like I had given my oldest daughter and one of my bonus daughters my
GI Bill.
GI Bill. And when I went to do my Voc 31, it was like 3 weeks left on that. So they took that and gave me from January 2024 till December 2026. So 3 years they covered me just because that 3 weeks left. So it's worth looking into it to see what you might have and the things that you can get. So, but that was the motivation.
So we motivated you.
Yeah. You motivated.
I was not trying to tell him to go to school.
Yes, you were. Yes,
I
you
was
were.
not.
Yes,
I was
you
not.
were.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. You told me a lot, but then
that's not true.
It's again.
I said, "Do you?"
Yeah, you did. But every day you were saying, "Go to school." After you said, "Do you?" So now I'm doing me in school.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. And so you did 4 and 5 classes, but so you're not gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this. He's on the dean's list.
Yeah, that's God, people.
Listen, he's doing A's and B's, doing very, very well. And I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Thanks, babe.
I'm very, very proud of you for everything that you're accomplishing. And one day he's gonna be Dr. Byrd, y'all. He is, because I can see him getting his PhD because he's highly intelligent.
Yeah.
highly intelligent. So I love it. And I think your book, because he's going to write a book, should be titled From the Farm to What? From the Farm to What? From the Farm to the Field. Ooh, I like that. Y'all, I'm coming up with it right now. From the farm to the field to the cap and gown.
From the farm to the forces.
Ooh,
to the cap and gown.
See, I told you he was going to write a book. Y'all, we're having a candid talk over here with the future Dr. Stephen Byrd. Very
honorary.
It's not going to be honorary. He's going to do a whole dissertation. But I'm super proud of you, of everything that you have accomplished. And so I have been to, have I been to Scooterville? I've been to Tifton.
Yeah, you've been to Scooterville.
Is that where the cotton was?
You've been through, yes. We stopped there to let you see the cotton field.
So I saw a cotton field for the first time. Actually picked a few. It was weird. But it was very surreal. Don't do that.
Okay.
It was very surreal. Because it really does make you think about your ancestors. Because it wasn't even hot that day, and I was just like, ooh, I picked one cotton. I was like, I'll never do this again. But I'm trying to imagine you as a child growing up on a farm, because you essentially have been working since you were little.
I started cutting big yards at age of 8, pushing stuff.
Old.
But
yeah,
I was sitting in my granddad's lap on tractors, and then by 13 or 14, I was fully entrenched in cutting land, turning land, and cropping tobacco and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we always talk about, and these are our candid talks, is how very different our cultures are. There are a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of differences. And even the culture of you being a military person who's just so disciplined, and me being an academic that's very free-spirited. And so you wonder, how do these two actually come together and make it work? And we do. I'll even show you a picture of how cute we make it work. See, right here. This is how cute. And so I just see, look, I got my boots and my hat on. See, so that's the farm part of me. The boots, that's not farm, that's cowgirl. I'm just messing with y'all. But no, I really wanted you guys to get to meet and see the other half, my better half. And that is Stephen Byrd, just learning a little bit about him. He is a gentle giant, an amazing man of God. And so you are incredible. And I thank God for you. I thank God for your journey. Thank you for your service and how God has kept you on multiple deployments and bringing you back here. I know he's going to graduate. We're going to have a party, y'all. I'm going to go live when he graduates because it's coming up really, really soon. And then they'll take a short break and then we'll talk about what he's doing next. Yeah. Right? Because y'all know there's going to be a next, right? There's going to be a next. So candidly talking, Stephen, as we prepare to end our conversation here on Candid Talks, what do you think is next for you? Because you are very active in ministry, right? And so what do you think? How do you think your military service has really helped you transition into ministry in the church? Because you teach young adults, you work with young adults. How do you think that's helped you transition?
Well, even the Word of God says, "Do it as unto the Lord."
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do in the military by the standards, that's put out to us, the mission that we're given. You give it your best, you give it your all. And same thing with ministry. When I go give with my brothers at church and we're praying, or we got to do something around the church, maybe cut grass, whatever the case might be, you give it your best effort. So where I see myself, I sometimes you get a little nervous about what God can do, because you can see yourself right here, right now, and then he's over here, up here, and over here, and it's always forward and up.
Yeah. But
no loss of discipline, no loss of humility wherever he puts you. And as I used to hear, I'm a man under authority. So how God moves me under his leadership is how I move. Yeah. And I do it with thanksgiving and discipline, so to speak,
Yeah. What would you say has been the most challenging thing being a civilian now?
I personally can't think of any huge challenges. I think emerging yourself with other civilians, but I came from that. I mean, I only had 17, close to 18 years of it, but nevertheless, I did come from the civilian sector. So I don't have any, we bounce things off because of what we do and how we do in the community of the military. But nevertheless, we still are part of it. We just have a little bit more of a compact way of doing things, you know. So I don't have no major concerns about it.
Yeah. What's the best thing about being a civilian?
Is that I'm a civilian.
Besides having to wake up and do PT.
Not having to wake. We still wake up and do it.
We still wake up and do PT.
So,
3 miles.
You know, there's some. I always tell Carrie, I don't like to use certain things as motivation, but you see what you see. And I see a lot of my peers out here that they're hurting for certain. You know, once you come out and stop, as everything slows down. And I want to live a little bit longer. You know, I'm not ready to give up all of my insurance just yet. You know, my life insurance, but you know, those are. I love it all. You know, it didn't. I didn't get a sour face and all that. I miss it. You know, I spent almost 16 plus years on Fort Hood during my almost 29-year career. And I love that place. But unless I got an appointment there, I don't go there. You know, so God can do things and different things as you progress on in your life and leave certain jobs, certain careers. And mine was the military. Here I am, happy.
Y'all, thank you so much for joining us here. Candid Talks, like I said, we took a little summer break to rest, to refocus, to reset, rejuvenate, and just refresh. And now that the summer break is back, we've got our summer tans, and we are back in the swing of things, having candid conversations, candid talks with different individuals. You guys met Stephen Byrd today as he shared about his military career. We have some amazing guests coming up. We got CC Godbolt, y'all. CC Godbolt is going to be one of our guests from Dallas. Super excited. We also have Nick Ellis, all the way from North Carolina. She's going to be one of our guests, sharing what God has given her. We've got Nakia Shy and Renee Gray.
My little sisters.
They're going to be our guests. Super excited that we're going to have them. We've got Alita Eversley, who's going to talk about your finances, how y'all get out of debt and get your credit right. We're going to have her talking to you as well. And those are just a few of our guests, guys, to name some. We've got people coming from Florida, from New York. We got Pastor Gigi. Pastor Gigi is going to be here. Chaplain Gigi is going to be on here talking to us as well. So I can't wait to show you all the amazing and wonderful guests that we have for you in the next couple of months on Candid Talks. So make sure you join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's only 30 minutes, y'all. You can take 30 minutes to click in. So click in and share. You can also catch the replay on YouTube. This is Dr. Z, and this has been a Candid Talk with Carrie and Steven. Last words to the veteran. I always give my guests the last words. And so just the last word. You have a veteran that's probably out there listening to you, or probably someone who's grown up in a small town. Everything that you've talked about today, what are some of the last words you think that you would like to breathe into somebody's space right now?
You're worthy. Keep your head up. You fought a good fight. Keep fighting. Good, bad, or indifferent. There's a reason and a purpose for you being here. We need to see you. I know they talk about it all the time. Reach out, call someone. And I know the things that I'm saying are not necessarily all pointed to the negative. Even in the positive days, sometimes we have empty pockets of things in our lives. However, God can fill all those voids. And in doing so, he uses fellow brethren and sisters that have done the same thing you've done, and they can help you along. We all care about you. Hooah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all. Blessed and see you, and I will see you next week on Candid Talks with Dr. Z. Let's talk candidly about whatever it is. Bye, y'all.